Even though the Sigma male doesn't always try to intimidate people, his presence often does. Sigma males can be pretty intimidating, whether it's because of their strong presence, quiet demeanor, or sheer force of will. They are the ones who always seem to be in charge and always know what to say and do. They always seem calm and collected and are one step ahead of everyone else. Most of the time, they don't want to intimidate people, but they do it anyway. While alpha males are loud and aggressive and beta males are quiet and submissive, Sigma males are strong and quiet. They are the ones who look at everything and think about it before acting. For Sigma men, trying to intimidate someone doesn't always mean making a physical threat. Instead, it has more to do with how strong they are mentally and emotionally. They know a lot about how people think and how to use that knowledge to their advantage. Even though they might not be the biggest or strongest person in the room, their intelligence and knowledge more than make up for it. Sigma males often use intimidation to keep people at a distance. Alpha males use it to control and dominate others. They don't want or need anyone in their lives because they can't fully trust them, so they intimidate people to keep them at a distance. Here are 12 ways Sigma men intimidate others. 1. They keep a calm but serious look on their faces. Sigma men are great at putting on poker faces. They have learned how to keep a straight face even when things are really bad. This can be very intimidating for people who can't understand their feelings or intentions. Even if they don't mean to, their poker face can make them seem hard to get along with or even unfriendly. This leaves room for assumptions and interpretations that can be hard on people's minds. One of the most effective ways to intimidate someone without saying a word is to keep your face calm but intense. It can make Sigma males seem not only hard to understand, but also mysterious and even a little dangerous. They don't always mean to say this, but it's often what people hear. So if someone's expressionless face makes you feel intimidated, there's a good chance they're a Sigma. 2. They pause after someone speaks. Sigma men know how important it is to be quiet. They know that sometimes listening is the best way to learn something. This can be very intimidating for some people because they don't like silence and feel like they need to fill it. To fill the awkward silence, they may start to talk too much or say things they don't really mean. During this pause, they often think that the Sigma is judging them, but in reality, they are just gathering information. This can be a very effective way to get people to open up and say more than they meant to. Even though it might not seem like much, you shouldn't underestimate the power of silence. Some people can feel very uncomfortable, which can make them say things they wouldn't normally say. Even though the Sigma doesn't want to intimidate people with their silence, that's often what happens. 3. They use a mix of confidence and intelligence, not brute force. Sigma males may not be the biggest or strongest people in the room, but they know how to intimidate other people by using their brains. They are among the most sure of themselves people you'll ever meet. They know how much they are worth. People often mistake their confidence for arrogance, but it's really just because they have a high opinion of themselves. They really believe in themselves and what they can do, which gives them an inner strength that most other people don't have. People around them find this very intimidating because they can't help but wonder what makes them so sure of themselves. Is it because they're smart, their knowledge, or is it just a strong belief in themselves that can't be shaken? No matter why, confidence is one of the scariest things a person can have. And when it's mixed with intelligence, it can be so much that it's hard to handle. This is one of the most effective combinations because it has everything you need to be successful. Sigmas always seem to be one step ahead of you, and their quick wit can make you feel like you have no chance against them. 4. They rarely show any emotions. When it comes to feelings, Sigma men are very stoic and quiet. They don't like to show how they feel, so they keep it to themselves. People often feel like they can't emotionally connect with the Sigma, which can be frustrating. This can be intimidating because they never know what the Sigma is thinking or feeling. They might try to read their body language or guess how they feel, but they often fail. Some people find this hard to deal with, But it's also one of the things that makes Sigmas so interesting. They often get attracted to women because they seem mysterious. People who don't show their feelings are hard to understand, which can make you very curious. People often want to know what makes them tick and what's going on in their heads. Of course, if Sigma isn't careful, this can also hurt them. 5. They are very good at reading people. Sigma men are very good at reading people, which makes them hard to trick or control. They can see through people's lies and know when someone is trying to use them. For some people, this can be intimidating because they feel like they can't hide anything from the Sigma. They may try to act differently around the Sigma, but their true intentions always seem to show through. Sigma men can also tell who they can trust and who they can't by being able to read people. They usually only have a few close friends because they don't trust everyone. This can make them seem suspicious or even paranoid, but it's just a way for them to keep themselves safe. Being able to read people also means being able to read the room. They understand how people interact with each other and know how to work a room. This can help when making new connections or meeting new people. Even though they hate small talk and talking about the weather, they can talk to anyone when they have to. Sigmas are often seen as natural leaders because of their ability to read social situations, even if they don't want to be. 6. They never give up when faced with a challenge. Sigmas love challenges more than anything else. They are always willing to try something new that will take them out of their comfort zone. They love feeling alive and thrive on adrenaline. This can make them look like daredevils or even people who want to get a thrill. But they don't do it just for the rush of adrenaline. They'd also like the feeling of overcoming something that seemed impossible. People who want to push themselves often end up taking risks. They're not the type to take risks for no reason. They only take risks that they think are likely to pay off. This can make them seem reckless, but in reality, they are just very smart. They feel good about taking on a hard challenge and winning. This is what makes them want to keep going. It's not about where you end up. It's about how you get there. Because Sigma men never seem to give up or back down, they often scare off their opponents. They are always moving forward and never seem afraid of anything. 7. They don't say sorry for being themselves. Sigma men are very happy with who they are. They are sure of who they are and don't mind showing it. They don't feel bad about what they believe or what they do because they are sure of both. Others may feel like they have to put on a front around the Sigma, which can be intimidating. They might try to act tougher, smarter, or more successful than they are. They do this to show off or get approval from Sigma. But in reality, none of that matters to Sigma males. They're not looking for people who can impress them. They just want to meet people who are real. Apologizing for who you are shows not only that you are weak, but also that you don't respect yourself. Sigmas don't have time for people who don't respect themselves. People who don't know them well might think they are cold or even heartless. But once you know a Sigma, you realize that they don't apologize because they have a strong sense of who they are. 8. They're hard to figure out. They are very private people who don't like to talk much about themselves. This makes them seem like a closed book. They like to keep their thoughts and feelings to themselves, so no one knows what they really think and feel. It can be hard to get to know a Sigma because they don't open up easily. This makes them seem mysterious and sometimes even puzzling. People don't know what to do or how to act around them. This lack of predictability can be both thrilling and intimidating. Their refusal to talk about themselves often leads to rumors and talk about them. Some of it may be true, but most of it is probably not. This is because Sigmas aren't always clear. People think they are distant or even arrogant, but they are just shy and prefer to be alone. 9. They have unshakable confidence. We all know someone who seems to be very sure of themselves. When they walk into a room, everyone looks at them. They get everyone's attention without trying. The Sigma male is this. Their confidence is unshakable, which can be both frightening and inspiring. If you aren't sure of yourself, it's easy to feel insecure around him, but just being in his presence can also give you more confidence. It's hard not to get some of his confidence because it's so contagious. Alpha males often have confidence in themselves because of how they look, their status, or what they have done. But the confidence of the Sigma is different. It has nothing to do with reality. It's just a part of who they are. This deep-seated confidence makes Sigmas not only intimidating, but also attractive to women. Sigma men are self-assured without being arrogant. There's a fine line between the two, and they know how to walk it. You don't have to put other people down or be the loudest person in the room to be confident. It just means that you know how valuable you are and don't need other people to tell you that. 10. They let their achievements do the talking for them. There's no question that Sigma males work hard, but they don't need to brag about what they've done. They'd rather let their work do the talking for them. They are not the kind of people who want to be noticed. They like to work quietly and without making a lot of noise. This helps them stay on task and keep going. They are humble people who know the best way to get ahead is to work hard and keep going. They have their own reasons for doing things and don't need approval from others to feel good about themselves. Some people need reassurance all the time, but the Sigma male would rather work behind the scenes. Not because he is shy or afraid of being the center of attention, but because he wants to avoid distractions and drama. 11. They never try to be likable or fit in. Many people in today's society care a lot about fitting in. People do a lot to fit in because they think it's an important part of life. Sigma doesn't agree with this way of thinking, though. They don't like the pressure to follow the crowd and act like everyone else. Because they don't fit in with the rest of the crowd, this can make them seem like outcasts or loners. But they don't mind being alone, and in fact, they actually like it. Sigma males don't care about status or power, and they live outside of the social dominance hierarchy. They would rather be themselves than try to make other people happy. This can make them look like they don't want to follow the rules. But in reality, they're just people who don't want to be controlled by what society wants. This lets them think for themselves and make decisions on their own. 12. They don't care what other people think of them. Sigma men don't care what other people think about them. They are their own person and do what they want with their lives. They don't try to make other people happy or look for approval, which can make people around them feel uncomfortable. The Sigma man is calm and does their own thing while everyone else is trying to fit in and conform. He knows that people will always judge people who are different. They are fine with the fact that not everyone will understand or agree with them. The world will always have a place for someone who knows where he or she is going, even if it goes against the grain. People often call them lone wolves because they go their own way. They don't seem to care about what's going on around them and seem to know who they are.